Hi, it's Marielle, Mom and a Girl with Plans, and this is the March, a cherry on top YouTube hop, and we are doing layered stencils. I have never used one of these before, so I'm really excited. This one is from Pink Fresh, and it has 6 layers. It also has a matching stamp and a die. And I'm going to use some items from the new cherry box for spring. So let's get started. I was really excited to try this layered stencil. So I've got my pieces here and they are all numbered, and you can kind of see here in the corner the number, and then it's got like a little mark where you can line up your paper so that you're sure to line it up each time. So he's got it in all 4 corners. I've already taped this down and picked out my inks, so I'm kind of ready for this first stencil, and I'll speed this up. But I chose a green, a lighter green, for the first layer, which is going to put down those base leaves. And I'm just kind of rubbing it on here. And then the next layer, I went with a darker green. And this adds the details in the leaves. So it puts, like the veining on them. So we've got that down. And the next one was for the first set of blue flowers. And for all of these, I'm starting with the lighter color, and then the next stencil puts again those details on. So this is just a little bit darker. This one, there's not as much, I guess, differentiation in the 2 colors. And then I went with a coral for some of these flowers. I really thought this was actually pretty easy. At first I was intimidated by these 6 layers, but it really isn't difficult. If you line this up, and I put it on this stamp board, it really helped me line it up so that everything matched up perfectly as I was doing the stencils. You can leave it like this, but I wanted to add the stamp over. This will just kind of put some of the outlines on it. So you have to be careful lining this up to make sure that it lines up perfectly. So I've got it kind of ready to go, and this is a precision stamp tool. So you just lay it on top and push it down, and it's going to pick up that stamp, and the pegs help you line it back up. So once you've got it on there, you take it off, and then you can just ink up that stamp, and then you'll be able to line it back up. Now, I did try just to play before I started my video doing this, and without using this precision stamp tool, and I could not. I line it up. I thought I had it. It looked perfect. I hovered over it, and no, it wasn't perfect, but I figured I'm going to save those, and, maybe I'll be able to use them later. So once you've got it, you just kind of lay it back down and then press down. And once you lift it back up, your image is on your flowers. So I've got my piece there. I've got 2 photos. I did a 4x6 and then a smaller 2x2 little photo. So I could leave this on here, but I didn't get the die, and I'm kicking myself. So I kind of fussy cut it, and I'll take it off camera and finish cutting these out. But after this, I would recommend getting that die. So I've got my pieces cut out, and I just really loved how these turned out. So they were a lot of fun, and I definitely will be doing this again. And you can change up the look with different inks. So I think that's perfect. Now, these pieces are also from Pink Fresh, and they are from the Cherry on Top Spring box. I loved everything in this set. So the paper, all of these accessories are from there. So I decided I wanted to mix in these line drawings with my stamped images. I thought it would give a fun look. So I kind of just layered them in there. And then remember I said I had created one that didn't exactly work out. I I went ahead and decided to use those pieces kind of underneath here since I'm going to be stacking them and just kind of overlapping them. So I went ahead and just kind of played with the arrangement, and I want this one to kind of hover above them. So I'm going to be using some thicker, tape to kind of lift those up, some foam tape. So first up, I'm going to glue the picture down. I love using the Tombow glue dot. You can really use any tape, but that one's just been my favorite. So I've got my image, and I'm kind of putting it kind of off center. And then I saw these, and there's like a little 2x2 frame in there. So I decided I wanted to use one, and just making sure it fits, and of course it fits perfect. So all I have to do is put some glue down and get this image where I want it. So I'm going to use it right here. And that piece of chipboard actually has adhesive on it. So it's like a big sticker. So it was perfect just to put down over it. It kind of reminds me of like a slide. So now I've got those down. So I'm going to just speed this up and just put those back down and just glue them. Kind of haphazard, but just kind of alternating between a stamped image and a line art image. I just really liked the way the color with that line art looked. So now I grabbed a title, and I thought it would be really nice with this picture of my friends. I'm kind of just trying to figure out where it's going to go, and then I can, use that foam tape and just hover above. I think that'll look good. So now it's time to just glue it down. And then I just kind of went back and forth with where to put this, but this works out right about here. So I went ahead and, well, there we go, glued that down. Okay, so it is down, and then it's time to put these flowers. I'm thinking right there, I've got that foam tape on the back so that it sticks up and I can kind of see underneath. I grabbed a title. I just really liked the cursive lettering, and again, the fact that it was raised to give it some interest, and I'm just overlapping it here on my photo. I love that these are adhesive, so they're just ready to go. Since it said today, I thought it would be good to document, obviously, the date that we all got together and took this photo. And this is a stamp. Again, I'll link this. I love it because there's a lot of options for, it's not just the date. You can put other words. This one I actually did use date, and I love that it's in like a cursive lettering, and then you have like your traditional date stamp. So I'm using the same coral that I used for the flowers just to put that date there. I grabbed another one of the extra little stamp pieces, kind of cut it up and just added it under there so it would give it some more color there in that little corner. And then I got the enamel dots that also came in this kit and used the green ones. I thought they would be perfect. And I love that they come in different sizes. So I'm kind of varying the sizes here and just adding these on. And I'm adding them just around those flowers. And I'm going to add 3 of them. I love adding things in 3s. So I've got these here, and I might use it later on, maybe somewhere else on the page. All right, and then I decided to add another one of these line art flowers up in the top left-hand corner to bring that same element in. And then I have this really old stamp, but I love it. It has 3 dots, and I'm just stamping again in the coral around the image just to, again, to give it just some fun. And then I decided to do it up here in this corner to tie that in. And yeah, not over there. I thought about it, but I'm keeping it over here in this corner. Okay, and then I added an enamel dot right there. I decided I wanted to add some of this velvet ribbon from Tim Holtz. And I'm thinking about making a little bow. So I'm kind of measuring it out just to see how much I need. And I went ahead and got some embroidery floss because there's no way I could tie this into an actual bow this small because the ribbon is I mean, it's not thick, but to do a bow this small, it would be. So I kind of just fold it over to look like a bow and cut the end off. I'll save that and I'm going to use that as the tail. And then I grabbed some of this embroidery floss and decided to wrap it around. Now, this got tricky because it's so small. I had a hard time like holding it down and trying to knot it. So I had to kind of maneuver it and try to make sure that I didn't let go, but my fingers were getting in the way of trying to do it. So I kind of just took it off and had to do it on the table, and that helped me kind of balance it. So now I've got my knot in. I cut the little ends off of the embroidery floss, and we've got, well, almost have it all cut off. I just don't want to cut too close to the knot there. There. And now I've got the top of my little bow, and then I'm going to use these as the tails. And let me cut this at an angle. Wait, that's not the right angle. There we go. So I had to make sure I cut them the same. And now I've got my tails. I was going to fold it over, but I think it's a little bit bulky. Yeah, it's going to go right there on that flower. I kind of make it look like a bouquet and also embellish that top one that's raised. So I decided it was a little bit too bulky there. I'm going to cut the tail, and then I'm actually going to cut this into 2 separate pieces instead of one, because trying to fold it over is just adding too much bulk. So I just glued the first piece down, and my second little tail is going to go right here, and then the top of the bow. Got to add some glue there, and now it's ready. Perfect. I just love that it has the same color, but it just adds a little bit more texture and interest to my little florals there. Then I got this little embellishment. It's almost like a little word button, and I put that there. And again, I'm using those scraps of stamped image and putting it here, and another little piece of a line art leaf. I just really liked how mixing the stamped image with the line art looked, so I wanted to be able to carry it through over here as well. So I've got that, just a little tiny hint over here. Okay, I grabbed one last piece because as I was looking at the floral in the top left corner, it looked a little bit bare. So I went ahead and wanted to add, there we go, just kind of tucking it under there. I wanted to add that stamped image now to this corner. Whoa, my leaf's trying to get away. That way, wherever I had the line art, I have a stamped little image. And it just kind of carries that theme throughout. And it's not taking away from my, big arrangement there on the right. Just a little nod to it. And I think that is it. I really enjoyed working with stamps and stencils. I'd never done that before, so it was really fun. So definitely try that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love it if you'd hit that like, subscribe, and reminder bell so you can get notifications when I post new videos. And be sure to check out everyone else on the Hop this month for even more fun and inspiration and a chance to win a gift certificate.